Now, this is a month late. I'm very much aware. And if you're still clicking on this a month after it's released, good on you. But, Super Mario Brothers The Galaxy movie released about a month ago. And, oh my god, you could say it definitely did not reach the stars. I just didn't like this movie. So the reason that this is so late, by the way, hello, welcome back to AustinPlus reviews, or Austin Reviews, which is another segment of the channel, where today we are reviewing the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, I was not a big fan. Honestly, I'm still a bit annoyed at the fact that I spent money on it. Going to see it in the cinema, saw it on release day, thought it was going to be a brilliant film. This was the film that made me realise that I'm now too old to watch these films. Now, people obviously like Mario, and some people grew up with Mario, so they'll enjoy it. However, I was not one of them people, unfortunately. But I will still do my typical review thing. The reason it's so late is because I didn't think I would do one, and I didn't really want to. And also, a lot of this is a lot of the best characters, best moments are very forced, but instead of doing that, I'll basically just the better parts of the movie and say some of the stuff that I just didn't like. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, I'd say one of the best characters, and it kind of goes without saying as he is one of the greater characters, is Bowser, because Jack Black returns with a performance that really balances his comedic flair with a genuinely just menacing transformation into the skeletal, dry Bowser, which we see later on in the movie. Now, whether he's orchestrating like a cosmic siege or something, or singing another powerful ballad again with his people, he remains the film's most magnetic and entertaining presence, that's for sure. He's the only thing that kept me going. When I thought he died, and then before came the dry Bowser, I was just like, well, there goes my happiness, because it didn't seem right. But I think he was one of the better ones, but still not one of the best. Secondly was Yoshi. Yoshi was voiced by Donald Glover, and it was a perfect blend of charm and loyalty. And Yoshi is always a funny thing to say. I think I've got the voice down. Actually, never mind, I'm not going to do it. He's one of the most beloved dinosaurs ever. I mean, screw Jurassic Park, this dude's got it, and he steals the scene. He steals every scene and other people's mojo, like Toad, and he basically he just has such playful energy and useful abilities. In the end, basically, man can scran anything. If only I had that glory. Now, his bond with Mario is basically the heart of the film's whole adventure into the galaxy, and especially during high stakes escapes from the Odyssey T-Rex, he was a quite good comedic relief. Now, the only other character that I think probably deserves a special mention is obviously Mario himself, because Chris Pratt's Mario evolves into a seasoned hero in this sequel, showing great resolve as he masters new cosmic power, using the red star. And his journey from basically that Brooklyn plumber to a gravity defying protector of the whole galaxy, not just the Princess Peach castle, the whole galaxy, basically provides the emotional anchor for the movie's most spectacular action sequences. Now, don't get me wrong, there wasn't many action sequences, I can be sure I could tell you that much, and there wasn't much of an emotional anchor. I had no emotional ties to it. But if we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, maybe chipping away at the barrel itself, but he's still quite a good character, and obviously the film's based around Mario as well. Now, in terms of best moments, Yoshi was obviously a wonderful character as well as his introduction. We did see his introduction in a trailer that we saw, I think in March? No, not March. Maybe February or something. But Mario and Luigi's discovery of Yoshi in the desert of Tostarena, we'll go with that, is a heartwarming highlight that basically perfectly translates the dinosaur's charm into the big screen. Starts off as a big roar, but the sequence is filled with such playful energy as Yoshi helps the brothers just navigate the complex pipe system of that of the planet. But he also showcases a very vibrant chemistry that feels very classic to like the Nintendo version of Yoshi that we all know and love. And they really did bring him to life like very well. Now the other thing that I think it was a cool sequence. It was cool to see in the moment, but in actuality, for me, it was the kind of the only sticking point. Now I was like, well, this has gone to shit now. But Dry Bowser, the reveal, obviously very accurate to the proper Nintendo and the Super Mario story. But the transition from the defeated Bowser in the miniature one into a very skeletal terror known as Dry Bowser is one of the film's probably most visually striking and intense sequences, especially when he's working with his son. And emerging from the lava during the climactic bridge battle, this transformation definitely does raise the stakes and forces like the Mario brothers to push their power-ups to absolute limit. I think like Mario could fly or something. It's been a while since I've watched this, and I'm really trying to eliminate it from my memory, okay? Don't judge me if I don't remember it all. Now, another aspect is the Star Fox character reveal. Now, voiced by Glenn Powell, I realized after, is in the moment sent basically a shockwave through the theater when Fox McCloud blasts through the wormhole in the R-Wing to assist the heroes during their very frantic space battle with the stars and then obviously Bowser Jr. But this crossover not only provides the film's most thrilling, probably aerial combat, which we weren't expecting from this type of movie, but it was still this really budget Star Wars vibes, but it also confirms a much larger interconnected universe for future films and projects. Don't know if I'd be willing to put in the time, but hey ho. Now, at the time I hated it, but now I look back, they're really adding into the lore here. Now, this is where I think I need to be a bit more educated. I do think I might be a bit too old for the, basically, how Mario is, or too late. I can't tell the difference. To me, I say it's too old. Then again, I am like 17, so maybe I wouldn't say the old bit. I'd probably say the, maybe too young, and I think I need to go back and learn the lore for Super Mario a bit more so I can appreciate this movie a bit more as well. But I also know some critics didn't like it as well, so at least I'm not the only one. I didn't want to be like, oh, it's 96% and then I was about 44. But Bowser Jr.'s introduction was also something that really caught my attention because it was he's a very calculating and high-tech character, and he definitely shows that by his entrance because he uses his Bowser OS to terraform the iconic Peach's Castle into a lethal obstacle course for Mario and Luigi and Yoshi and basically every Toad that was living in that thing. But his arrival basically marked the blend of bratty confidence that you have with a typical teenager and a genuine threat as he forces like Mario and Peach to basically speed run through the real time, making Mario Maker what was it called? The Mario Maker inspired gauntlet for the Rosalina, that one? Or something like that. Now, this is the scene where I was just like, what am I watching? What am I watching? And it's the casino brawl. Honestly, I am baffled still. This chaotic sequence sees Peach and Toad fighting their way through the King's Warts underground casino, surrounded by a dizzying flurry of ninjas and neon lights and a load of those star things. While visually it is intensive, the sheer sensory overload and rapid fire references during this brawl definitely served as a turning point for many old viewers who felt like the film's felt like the film's getting a bit out of pace. But it just hurt my brain. It just really hurt my brain. I was like, what am I watching? It's definitely sensory overload, but if you're a kid, you'll love all of that. Now, people are talking about if there is a potential for a third film. Well, for those who are thinking about that, you're all in luck. A lot of it. Now, the potential for a third film lies in the sprawling multi-world odyssey that finally bridges the gap between the whimsical Mushroom Kingdom and the high-tech frontiers of the Lilac system. Now, by weaving together the cosmic lore of Rosalina with the introduction of Rosalina, the sequel could really evolve into a very much breathtaking Avengers-style crossover type thing that basically redefines the scope that Nintendo have in the cinematic theater verse. But the grand finale would also likely culminate in a reality-bending battle against primordial threat like Taboo. That one, yeah. pushing the visual spectacle and emotional stakes to an unprecedented universal scale. So we went from town to galaxy to universe. Bit of a big leap, but if Marvel can do it, I'm sure Nintendo can as well. Now let's discuss other reviews. Screen Rant said that anyone expecting a Pixar-like narrative with moving themes, carefully developed characters, and a memorable story won't find it in this movie. And it notes that the film hardly allows enough time to capitalize on new characters like Rosalina, who claims it is largely underutilized throughout the narrative. I agree with that because you didn't get much of the Rosalina other than it gave a tiny bit of 5-minute backstory to Peach. I think you could do a lot more with that. Makes a lot of sense, and it was rushed. The film was very rushed. Yes, it's a cartoon, but you could have taken some scenes out and replaced them with ones that actually mean something. The cinematic reel said that this may be one of the studio's best looking efforts yet, with the Super Mario Galaxy movie feeling even more visually alive than its already stunning predecessor. It also adds, while it doesn't necessarily fix the frustrations that held the first film back, it serves as a pure escapism that leans into a deep-rooted connection with its audience. That I agree with. It is not it's not the film you're thinking of. It's not a direct sequel. It's basically it is a film of sensory overload and Nintendo characters. That's all it is. And I know that will probably annoy a lot of people. I know it annoyed me, but at the end of the day, and that's why I've decided to do this reviews, because I know I'm not the only one, and while I do feel that way, I also understand it from both sides. It's just a film about escapism and basically leaning back. It's got nothing to do with the story, and fair enough. It opens doors, but it has nothing to do with any story. Total Film said it only ends up creating the feeling at times you would rather be watching Star Fox movie than Mario jumping into and woohooing around the place, especially through the cosmos, no less. They also described the film as an experience that feels impersonal due to its constant stream of inside jokes. Yes. That does happen. I knew Star Fox movie was getting his own movie before I saw the film, so I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him in his own film or show. So they've hit the nail on the head there. And The Guardian then said, here is an inert, uninteresting animated follow-up based on a legacy video game about two wacky Italian Brooklyn plumbers, and they dismissed the sequel as a bland screen cover of a movie that lacks inspired plotting of humor. It's a bit harsh, but again, I understand what they mean because I felt that way. But it is a bit harsh. So, what else can we expect from these movies? The introduction of Fox McCloud and an expansive cosmic setting of Super Mario Galaxy flings the doors wide open for a high-octane Star Fox spin-off, which has already been confirmed, and that potentially shifts the tone towards a gritty interstellar dogfighting adventure. Still for kids, definitely. Meanwhile, the discovery of Princess Daisy and her spirited attitude sets the stage for a standalone Sarah's Land prequel or a high-stakes Mario Party style ensemble film where the competitive dynamics of the expanded royal cast take center stage. I'm not too sure about that one. They have confirmed that they're doing 5 projects, one of which is a spin-off, which, as I just said, the Star Fox thing. But ultimately, these threads seem to be weaving towards a Super Smash Bros. Film and cinematic event. If they do that, that could end badly. So, here are some fun facts for you. This movie has planned to have 5 sequels, as I said, attached onto this movie, making this justifiable cinematic universe with 7 projects as of now after that. Well, the movie has made $404 million in the worldwide box office to date. It made $131 million on opening weekend, which is 59.2% of the total gross, which is impressive considering the budget for this movie was $110 million, so they made it over a weekend. So, my overall review, now, I would say that my review, as I said a lot in this video, is it mainly highlights the frustrations with the Super Mario Galaxy movie, where the relentless pacing and sensory overload of scenes like the casino brawl ultimately just alienated the long-time fans, and I get that. But without further ado, folks, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. But I hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah.